Welcome to Conquer AI Search with AI, where I, Avi, alongside Catherine, unpack the future of how we find and connect with information online. Today, we dive into the seismic shift from traditional search to AI-driven answers, and what it means for content creators, marketers, and SEO pros. With over 90 million people projected to use generative AI for search by 2027, this is no longer a fringe trend. We'll explore what's driving this change, how it threatens the current ad and content ecosystem, and what practical strategies like GEO, Generative Engine Optimization, first-party data collection, and client relationship building can help you stay ahead. Let's get into it. Today, we're diving into a really big shift. It's impacting how people find information online.
Yeah, it's huge. And it has massive implications if you're in, say, content, SEO, or inbound marketing.
Exactly. I mean, consider this. Back in 2023, already 13 million adults in the US were using generative AI as their main search method.
13 million already back then. Wow.
Right. And fast forward to the projections for 2027, that number is expected to jump to over 90 million.
90 million. Okay, so this isn't some, fringe trend anymore.
Not at all. It's something like, 68% of adults are now turning to AI for answers. It's significant.
What's really striking is just how fast this is becoming, normal. That kind of adoption signals a real change in how people expect to get information. And it raises a fundamental question for us, doesn't it? How do we, as professionals in this space, adapt?
Exactly. So our goal in this podcast is to really try and understand how those of us creating content, optimizing for search, attracting organic traffic, how we can keep pace.
Or even get ahead, maybe.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
We need to excel in this evolving landscape. So we'll look at what's driving this shift to AI search, the potential ripple effects, and importantly, practical strategies.
Things people can actually use.
Yeah, things you can use right now. We'll pull from recent insights on client relationships and expert takes on the future of search. Okay, should we get into it?
Let's start with the disruption itself. Why are people increasingly choosing AI over, the Google search bar?
Good question. What are the sources saying?
Well, the big one seems to be speed and directness. People want faster answers, less clicking around. AI promises that single synthesized response.
That makes total sense. When you just need a quick fact like, what's the capital of France?
Great.
Instead of scrolling through links, dealing with pop-ups, cookie banners, which, let's be honest, have made browsing kind of a chore sometimes.
Definitely. That website clutter is a real factor.
Yeah, AI offers this cleaner, more immediate path. It feels like an escape route from all that noise.
And that connects to the second point, user frustration. People are tired of results pages crammed with maybe SEO-optimized fluff instead of real value, plus all the ads.
The sponsored results?
Exactly. AI, in theory, filters that. But, and this is a big but, who decides what that single AI answer is?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? What gets left out? Which perspectives are ignored if there's only one correct answer presented?
Precisely. And that has huge implications, especially when you think about the online ad economy and how content gets funded.
Okay, let's talk about that, the ad money.
Well, if users get answers from AI and don't click through to websites, the whole model breaks down, right? That model relies on site traffic.
Maybe an example.
Okay, think about searching for running shoes. Today, you get ads from Nike, Adidas, New Balance, maybe some reviews.
Lots of options, yeah.
Yeah. But with an AI assistant, it might just say, based on your needs, try this shoe. And those brands, they never even got seen. Their ads weren't displayed.
So that visibility just disappears. That's a massive shift for anyone relying on search ads, PPC campaigns.
It really is. How do you even reach customers if they aren't seeing that list of search results anymore?
And what about publishers? News sites, blogs? If AI just scrapes and summarizes their articles?
That's the other side of the coin. If users don't visit the site, the publisher gets no traffic, no ad revenue from that interaction. It's potentially devastating.
So what do they do?
Well, we might see more aggressive paywalls, trying to get money directly from readers, or maybe relying more heavily on social media for traffic, which is volatile, to say the least.
Yeah, algorithms change constantly there.
It really shifts the power dynamic. AI platforms could become the new gatekeepers, deciding what content gets surfaced.
Wow. Okay, so AI is changing search habits, threatening ad models.
Yeah.
And then there's the whole Google antitrust situation happening at the same time.
Talk about a perfect storm, right? Just as AI search is rising, Google's facing these huge legal challenges over its dominance.
Yeah, rulings saying they have an illegal monopoly in search and ad tech.
That's the gist of it. The courts basically found that Google's linking of search with Chrome, its ad network, its analytics, it stifles competition. Same goes for its control over the ad tech market.
And the harm alleged is less innovation, higher costs.
Less innovation, potentially higher ad costs trickling down, fewer choices for consumers and businesses. That's the argument.
So what are the proposed fixes? I heard something about Chrome.
That's a big one. The Department of Justice is pushing for Google to divest Chrome, to sell it off.
Why Chrome specifically?
The reasoning is that Chrome is a significant gateway to search. It feeds Google tons of user data, which improves its search results and ads, creating this feedback loop that competitors can't match. It's a direct pipeline of user data, as they put it.
So breaking that link would theoretically level the playing field a bit.
That's the idea. Other remedies are on the table, too, like banning those exclusive default search deals. You know, the one where Google pays Apple billions?
Yeah, the reported $20 billion a year deal to be the default on iPhones.
Exactly. That's seen as exclusionary. They're also talking about forcing Google to share some data and regulating its future AI investments to prevent them from just cornering that market, too.
It's fascinating. Imagine setting up a new phone and actually getting a real choice of search engines.
It could happen. And you heard about OpenAI, right? The ChatGPT folks.
What about them?
There were reports they expressed interest in buying Chrome if Google is forced to sell.
Really? Wow. That shows how valuable controlling the browser is seen, even in this new AI era.
Absolutely. It's prime real estate for distributing AI search tools. But we need to be cautious here.
How so?
Google plans to appeal. And history shows big antitrust cases don't always end in breakups. Remember the Microsoft case?
True. It took years, and the outcome wasn't a full split. So this could drag on, and the final result is uncertain.
Exactly. Lots of uncertainty.
Okay, so uncertainty from the legal side, massive disruption from the AI side. Let's bring it back to the people listening. The content marketers, SEO pros, inbound specialists. What do we do?
Right, the practical steps. It feels like we need a new playbook, maybe something like Generative Engine Optimization, even if that term isn't official yet.
Huh, I like it. GEO. So what goes into GEO?
Well, some fundamentals probably don't change. Website performance, for instance, speed, reliability, usability, that still matters hugely.
Maybe even more now, if AI bots are crawling your site.
Exactly. If an AI crawler hits a slow or buggy site, it's not going to get the data it needs right. So technical excellence is a baseline.
Makes sense. And what else? There was a call for transparency from the AI companies.
Yes, that's crucial. We need to understand how these AI engines are indexing and ranking content. Without that, optimizing is just guesswork.
Okay, but until we get that transparency, what can we lean on?
We can definitely lean on established best practices for quality. Think about high-value content, creating stuff that genuinely helps your audience.
Like the backlinko approach, really deep, authoritative articles.
Precisely. That kind of comprehensive, trustworthy content is likely what AI algorithms will favor too. It aligns with things like Google's EEAT guidelines: experience, expertise, authoritativeness, trustworthiness.
Right, showing you know your stuff, backing it up, being clear. That resonates whether it's a person or an AI reading it first.
Absolutely. Unique insights, data-backed claims, clarity. That seems like a solid bet. Content that truly answers the underlying query well.
Okay, good content is key. What about data? I keep hearing about the cookieless future. How does that fit in?
It fits in perfectly, actually. As third-party cookies fade out, understanding your audience relies more on data you collect directly.
First-party data.
First-party data, yes, info users give you on your site or app, and even zero-party data.
Zero-party, what's that?
That's data customers intentionally share with you, like preferences in a survey, quiz results, choices they make in their account settings.
Oh, okay, so it's explicitly given.
Exactly, and to get that kind of data, you need trust. Which brings us back to relationships.
Especially client relationships for agencies and consultants.
Absolutely. Building strong, direct relationships is becoming paramount. You need to understand their business deeply, not just the hard metrics, but the soft stuff too. Team dynamics, company culture.
Treating clients like true partners.
Yes. When you have that partnership, gathering that valuable first-party and zero-party data becomes much easier and more natural. You can use it ethically to personalize experiences.
Like using past purchase data bestsellers, new arrivals for recommendations, instead of tracking them across the web.
Exactly that. Or using survey responses to tailor content. It's about leveraging the information you're given permission to use.
And this ties into privacy concerns too, right? People are more aware.
Definitely. We're seeing the rise of privacy-focused analytics tools as alternatives to Google Analytics, tools that don't use cookies or collect personal data. It's a clear trend.
So strong client relationships aren't just good for business retention,
No, they're becoming strategically vital for your data strategy in this new era.
which means communication is key. Being proactive, sharing ideas, warning clients about big platform shifts like this AI stuff.
Couldn't agree more. That proactive communication builds immense trust. Keeping clients in the loop about these AI search changes is essential right now.
And showing empathy, right? Even if your campaign metrics look good, if the client is facing broader business challenges, you need to be a partner, not just a vendor focused on numbers.
That's so important. Empathy over defensiveness. It
Yeah.
fosters that long-term collaborative relationship you need to navigate these uncertain times together.
Okay, so wrapping up, it feels like the core principles haven't vanished.
Yeah.
Understand your audience, provide value, build trust.
Those are timeless.
But how we do that, the tools, the platforms,
Yeah.
that's changing fundamentally. AI isn't just another tool, it's reshaping the whole information landscape.
It really is. Which leads to, I think, a really important thought for everyone listening. As AI increasingly becomes this primary gateway to information, how do your strategies need to change? Not just for reaching humans, but for engaging with and being recognized by these new AI gatekeepers.
It's not just human optimization anymore.
Exactly. How do you build a future-proof strategy that really embraces this, not just reacts to it, but actively works with it?
That's definitely something to chew on. How to be valuable not just to people, but to the AI that connects people to information.
It's a significant challenge, an opportunity looking ahead.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us for this insightful podcast. We'll definitely keep watching these developments. Stay tuned for future discussions as things evolve.
That's a wrap for this episode of Conquer AI Search with AI. Thanks for tuning in and being a part of our journey to explore the evolving world of AI-powered search. We hope you found today's discussion insightful and walked away with something new to think about. If you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to follow, share, or leave us a review. It truly helps us connect with more people navigating this exciting digital landscape. For even more in-depth content, be sure to check out AI Monitor's website, where you'll find a wealth of resources and analysis on the latest AI trends. Until next time, keep exploring, keep optimizing, and keep conquering AI search.